Welcome back to our video series, The 3 Keys to Strong Math Instruction. Today's topic is extremely important. It is the number one challenge I hear middle school and high school teachers talk about. When I ask them what is challenging about their job, what makes it really difficult to put strong instructional practices in place, this is what they say. And that's why it is our third focus area. The third key is supporting teachers to address students' unfinished learning from previous grade levels. The gaps that students have with their skills and their conceptual understanding from prior grade levels is the number one reason that we don't see key 1 or key 2. So if you don't see teachers teaching grade level content, it's because their students have gaps from previous grade levels. They're missing some prerequisite skills that the teacher feels they need in order to access and engage in the grade level content. And so as a result, they pause grade level content and then they go back and teach previous grade level material, sometimes for a very long time. It's also the reason you may not see teachers engaging students in the deep thinking, because when students are missing some of those prior grade level skills, the teachers aren't sure how to help them and give them an opportunity to think it through because they think the students can't do this. So then what happens is they tend to walk students through the problems or do a lot of the thinking for the students. And so that's why it's important that we support teachers, especially in the planning stage, to help them think through what kind of on-ramp can we create for students? What kind of different entry points might there be for students in order to access that grade level content? Because if you can help teachers figure out how to help the students access the content, it opens the door for them to be able to do the deep thinking about it. But this is a complex challenge. It is not easy to look at grade level standards and figure out how to create that on-ramp. How do you create that bridge to grade level math? Math is a progression. It's meant to build. And so what do you do if students are missing these pieces that the other things need to layer on top of? I want to share with you 2 resources that can help with this. The first is from Achieve the Core. So if you go to achievethecore.org, you can look up their coherence map. The coherence map allows you to select a grade level standard and then trace the learning backwards and forwards to see how the standards are connected. This can be a great way for you to start to understand the progression of student learning. Now, the second resource is something that I created called the 10 Strategies to Bridge the Gap to Grade Level Math. And you can get this for free at www.mindfulmathcoach.com/bundle. If you sign up for the bundle, I'll send you these 10 strategies. They're a list, and then there's a how-to guide for each of the strategies. And these can really help you to get started. In my experience, this is a sticking point between teachers and leaders because most people will say they believe students can do it. Oftentimes, we don't see it happening in the classroom, and leaders can get really frustrated about this. Now, this may not be you, but I'm just sharing a trend that I've seen. From my perspective, what tends to happen is that leaders tend to downplay how much unfinished learning students really have. A lot of middle school and high school students do have significant unfinished learning, and it does make it quite challenging to teach the grade level content. But also in my experience, teachers tend to overestimate how much unfinished learning students have and how much that really impacts their ability to engage in the grade level content. So if you want to hear more about this, I do have a series of podcast episodes that go way more in depth on this. If you go to the Mindful Math podcast, which is on all the major podcasting platforms, or you can find it at mindfulmathcoach.com, episodes 8, 9, and 10, and 27 get into this a lot more, and so you can go and listen to those. But the gist of it is that it is a challenge and we can help solve for it. That is the third focus area that I always work on with teachers, especially in planning and when I'm working with schools. So let's do a quick recap. Key number 1 is understanding and providing access to grade level math. This is for teachers and students. Both need to understand that content. Key number 2 is engaging students in deep thinking about that grade level content. Key number 3 is supporting teachers to provide that bridge to the grade level math, thinking about multiple entry points, multiple representations, multiple solution strategies, instructional routines that allow all students to engage no matter what their starting point is. So helping equip teachers with strategies that they can use to be successful when they do put that grade level content in front of students. Because oftentimes the reason that teachers are shying away from it, the reason that maybe they go to that prior grade level content is because in the past when they've put something on grade level in front of students, it may not have gone well. Because if you don't provide that ramp, if you don't provide those multiple access points, what can happen is, students may say, I don't know how to do this. They may leave their papers blank, all those kinds of things, which then the teacher interprets as like, they don't know how to do this. I think we need to go back.